Hello Scorpio, it's MagdalenaTarot here. I'm a brand new channel, so please, if you like your reading, if you would like me to do more, subscribe and like the video. And if the reading that I'm about to do for you, which is the reading I'm doing in June for Scorpio, if it feels more relevant to maybe somebody you know, a friend, family member, then yeah, obviously share it with them. The reading is more than likely going to be about the here and now, what's happening around this time, but sometimes it can be a reading about something from your past, something that you need to revisit, look at again. Sometimes it could be a reading about something that's coming up in your future, so there might be things about it that feel familiar but that haven't happened yet. And sometimes if you really like a reader, if you feel inspired by someone, you'll find yourself just wanting to listen to them, because the tarots have within them really universal, important life lessons, and they have so much to teach us. So just keep listening. If you just get a good feeling, if something doesn't resonate or you get a bad feeling from it, please switch it off. Scorpio, you're reading in June. What else did I need to say about that? Let me think. Yes, I think that's it. If it's relevant for you now, your past, your future, you've just got to stick with it. Sometimes we don't know why we stay with the reading, even if it doesn't feel like our story. You just have to trust that. This deck is the Prisma Visions Tarot. It's a really beautiful deck created by an independent artist. Take a look at that box. It's so amazing. Yes, I highly recommend it, from Little Red Tarot. This company online. You can order these cards from there. Okay, so I'm shuffling for Scorpio and I'm asking for guidance about any Scorpios who are watching. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say, Scorpio, while I'm shuffling, is that this could be, you could be Scorpio Sun, Moon or Rising, but also maybe Scorpio Venus. It could be, you could have a lot of Scorpio in your chart in other places, or you might be wanting to know about somebody else you know who's a Scorpio. We never know, we never know what's someone else might have in their chart. Our charts are complicated. I do recommend getting a free online astrology chart to find out what your chart looks like. So okay, anyone with a Scorpio resonance, Scorpio influence, Scorpio friend or lover, let's see what messages, what guidance the universal energies, gods, goddesses, angels, spirit guides, all good energy, beings of light, beings of love, asking them now to speak to us through these cards, to give messages that will help and guide and teach those who are right now seeking and looking for guidance. The first two cards I'm seeing here are the Ten of Wands and the Two of Swords. Okay, let's just bear that in mind. So we've got the Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So with the Ten of Wands, I'm going to talk about this as I lay these cards out. With the Ten of Wands halfway through the deck there where I cut it, I'm thinking about how somehow a heavy burden, something that you were carrying in your heart, in your energy, heavy workload. I'm hearing heavy workload, energetic, heavy energy So that feeling you have when something feels too much. With this then at the bottom of the deck, the Two of Swords, how maybe you let it go, thinking, I'm going to let this heavy burden go and everything's going to feel better. But actually, when you let the heavy burden go, you were plummeted into, oh my God, I don't know what to do now. You know, things maybe didn't make sense when you let go of this burden, which maybe it was something to do with heavy workloads, heavy stress, something to do with family or in a relationship, a heavy burden, heavy heart, something that was weighing heavily on you, and you let it go. But you didn't necessarily get the relief you thought you would get. Yes, it got lighter, but suddenly you didn't know anymore who you were or where you were meant to be going. So sometimes when we release something, a weight, something that bears a heavy weight in our lives, something that feels difficult, simply put, something that feels very difficult, we're able to finally find a way to lay the burden down. Sometimes it's just recognizing, God, this stress I'm feeling all the time, I think it's actually to do with this relationship. So maybe I decide not to carry on seeing that friend. Somebody who it's going to be a relationship that's been in your life a lot, somebody you've known a long time, so somebody you felt very, for the Ten of Wands to be there in the middle of the deck to show itself to us now. This is going to be a relationship or a work situation that you've been in a long time, something that you've built up a lot of connection with. You feel a great deal of connection with this thing. Something that you've maybe formed your identity around or yourself around, and letting it go meant really having to rediscover yourself, rediscover who you really were. Okay, I'm going to turn the card at the center of the reading over, which is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, stability, connection, the kind of connection with other people, other things that creates a stable structure in our lives. And well, the way I describe that sounds boring, but the truth is, when we have that stable structure, that stable energetic structure in our lives, when we feel this forming of energy around us and beneath us and weaving itself through our lives, things feel like they're coming together. We feel like, wow, things are coming together, and it can make us feel really happy, really high, you know. There's something quite celebratory, often in the Four of Wands. Look at these flowers, like a garland of flowers at the top. It's like, wow, everything came together. And that's a feeling I'm getting now. Everything came together. So this is a theme, one of the themes at the heart of the reading, at the base of the reading, this feeling in the dark and not really knowing what's going on. Interesting. The contrast between these two cards is quite great. So let's have a look at the past influence. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful. So, you know, and look at these two strawberries. Sorry, I needed to show you this card because it's so cool. Look at these two strawberries floating in the air above her head. What a beautiful Queen of Pentacles. Nurture. Straight away, I'm hearing nurture. Nurturing, sustenance, wholeness. Somebody in your life or you who brought, and I'm seeing energy as well, brought in this feeling of wholeness, of nurture, juicy. Oh, I'm feeling the word juicy. So this person in your life who was juicy, who was exciting, who turned you on, and that can be sexually, but it doesn't have to be. We can be turned on creatively. We can be turned on materially. You know, with things, somebody who brings things into your life, who brings in gifts, or who brings in wonderful cooking, or who brings in I don't know, a fantastic cleaner. I mean, it could even be that. It could be, wow, I found this amazing cleaner, and when she comes into our house, she just does everything, she makes it so beautiful. It could be this. It could be a lover. It could be this incredible nurturing energy, Scorpio, that's come into your life and created something wonderful. Now, this is the past influence. This is the past influence. Let's have a look now at this, something that might be happening under the surface, your hidden feelings about the situation, hidden drives. Interesting. We have here the Five of Swords. So we've got a 4 and a 5. That's always important to me when I see numbers in sequence like this. A 4 and a 5. So on the surface, well, at the heart of this, we've got this sense of stability, of celebration. So something really lovely is happening, but within yourself somewhere in this scenario, there is really a struggle, a mental struggle. This would be because it's in the position of your inner world, things happening underneath the surface. It could be a dynamic that's happening underneath this very jolly, happy, perky situation that's actually feeling quite difficult. But it could be passive aggression in this position, hidden under the surface. Maybe there's a bit of a power struggle, but it's mental. You know, swords are air. They are conflict as well. Is there an inner conflict going on? 5 can be about change. It can be a transitional number. It's halfway through the 10. From 1 to 10, we've got 5. Bang, halfway. We're halfway there. We have the stability of the 4. So a situation that's brought stability in, something that was longed for, because it's at the heart of the reading. We could say something that has been longed for. But it also brings with it, as stability of this kind could mean relationship. It often does. The 4 of Wands often is to do with relationship and family, coming together of different forces, uniting forces in work, in relationships, whatever feels most relevant to you. But that coming together can also sometimes bring with it struggle. And we have these people here, you know, kind of with these swords, threatening each other, standing their ground. So let's have a look on the surface of this situation. So this is an external factor, and we have the 3 of Wands. And this is a very special 3 of Wands, look. It's kind of like, well, I'm hearing blessing. It's something that's been waited for, something that's been wished for. It's almost like this person is looking into the water and created a kind of spell. They've manifested something. They've waited. You know, and the thing about Wands, it's not like with Pentacles, it would be planting a seed in the ground. This is energetic, you know, it feels energetic. There's something magic about this particular card. And I think 3 of Wands, I'm hearing wish. Something that you wished for. Here we have, and this is really important in a line, we have a 3, a 4, and a 5 in a row. Something that was wished for. What was it, Scorpio, that was wished for? What did you or somebody else wish for? What were you waiting for? Because I think it came. I think it came. But I think underneath the surface, there is some kind of inner struggle with it. Our future, and this is very interesting, our future influence, which isn't necessarily an outcome, it could be, but it could be something influencing the future of this reading. We've got the Queen of Chalices. So we move from the Queen of Pentacles to the Queen of Chalices. There might be a need in this situation to get in touch with your feelings, Scorpio. And Scorpio, you know you can do that. You are a water sign. Of course, it depends where that's placed in your chart or somebody else's chart. But with a Scorpio influence, there is an ability to go into the deep, dark waters of your emotion. Very deep, very dark, deepest and darkest. So, you know, there might be a need to move out of the superficial part of this situation that on the surface could be happy, and to really go deeply into your feelings to figure out, what is this uncomfortable feeling that I'm having? What are these difficult thoughts? So you might be getting these, you know, crazy, they might seem irrational thoughts coming up out of nowhere, and you're thinking, what's going on here? I'm happy. Something inside is feeling difficult. I'm getting these difficult thoughts. I'm hearing, follow them. Follow the thoughts. And who is going to help you do that? Queen of Chalices. This could also be a therapist. This could also be turning to a friend, talking to somebody about your feelings, opening up about your feelings. I am going to pull for you a clarifier, but oh gosh, I think I'm going to need to sneeze in a minute. Oh, I'm so sorry, Scorpio. How very rude of me. I'm burning right now some frankincense, and I think it is making me a wee bit sneezy. Okay, let's clarify this Five of Swords, please. In this situation, something we've wished for, something that brought us stability. It's very feminine, this reading, a lot of female energy here. It could be a same-sex relationship. We could be talking about two women together. We could be talking about two masculines together who have a lot of feminine. We could be talking about a man and a woman who are very in touch with their feminine. It could be two friends. It could be two sisters. It could be a mother and a daughter. We could be talking about a work relationship between two very strong female energies in male form or female form. So let's take a look at. It could also be two different sides of yourself, Scorpio, or for the person you're talking about. The material, the grounded, the earthy, the nurturing part of you that makes things happen in your life, that nurtures others, and the feeling part, the emotional part, the part of you that the part of you that puts you in touch with your deeper inner states and drives. And sometimes those two parts of us can be working against. You can be fearful sometimes, for example, of your feelings. You might have a situation that you've manifested in your life, something that you wished for, something that you put energy into, something that came true, and yet still something about it doesn't feel right. So then we might think, oh, I need to run away from my feelings because my feelings aren't feeling good and I don't want to jinx this wonderful situation. Now I have the Page of Wands, which flew out in the reverse. I don't create reversals. I don't shuffle reversals into the deck, but if they pop out, then I go with them. Page of Wands in the reverse. Page of Wands being energy on this card, very specific, quite different from the traditional image of the Page of Wands. This is somebody being energetically pulled into something, pulled into the world. It's when you allow your energy, or you don't allow it, you are just kind of forcibly, energetically pulled into something, pulled into a situation, pulled into a project, pulled into a relationship. Pulled in. So I'm feeling pulled in, and it's upside down. So what I would say is that when the cards are upside down, of course, we're looking at their shadow aspects, or it could be something intensified, a quality of the card that's intensified. Page of Wands, in this case, with this particular card, it feels like this feeling of being pulled in, swept away, I'm hearing swept away, defenses down. I'm just asking for another clarifier. Let's see. What do I need to clarify more here? Let's follow on from this Page of Wands. Okay, Six of Swords into the Ace of Pentacles. So what I see here is we're going through a process of transition. We're going through a process of transition. Okay, a new situation has opened up in your life, Scorpio. A new situation has opened up in your life, and it may be Queen of Pentacles. Queen and King of Pentacles are all about comfort, and sometimes comfort zones. And of course, the King and the Queen have their kingdom, Scorpio. So somebody, you or somebody else, they're comfortable. Thank you very much. You know, they've conquered what they thought was their domain, the familiar. They've mastered they've mastered something, and now they've moved on into this Four of Wands, which is this beautiful new opening, this beautiful new space in their lives, but it's unfamiliar. Maybe it's unfamiliar. Maybe actually something about you or somebody else is feeling this relationship, this workplace, this friendship, this thing that's meant to be stable. And I believe it is something stable, Scorpio, because the Four of Wands at the heart of the reading and right now I have the Three of Cups, Three of Chalices at the base of the reading. I mean, this is a happy situation by all accounts, but it's maybe taken you by surprise. So the Queen of Pentacles is having to move into her feelings. The Queen of Pentacles is having to become the Queen of Chalices. Something about you or somebody else is having to relearn, having to join forces, I'm hearing. Join forces with somebody else, with something else. And it's unfamiliar. So the fear under the surface, there might be fear under the surface, there might be conflict under the surface. Moving from the Four of Wands to the Five of Swords, an inner struggle, an outer struggle, passive aggression. You know, on the surface, we're all saying, oh, it's so lovely to be here. I'm loving you. I'm loving this relationship. But when we get to this stage of a relationship, sometimes it's not an ace. It's beyond the ace. When we move from the 3 to the 4, if we're really moving, if we're really flowing, at some point we have to go to the 5. You know, there's always difficult phases, difficult stages to move through with the Six of Swords. I'm feeling move through. There's something here to move through. There's change. But if we keep moving through it with trust in your own feminine mastery, okay? Your own queendom, darling. Keep moving through, and you are walking through a new doorway. An Ace of Pentacles, look at this beautiful card, this doorway opening up into something very real, very material. Something is being realized in a very real way. And this energetic coming together. This energetic coming together, these 4 wands. Maybe it's a new family forming. Maybe it's a new business forming, or a beautiful creative project forming. It's going to lead to something very positive, very real, very promising. Very promising. There's a lot of positive energy here. All I'm feeling is there are fears around, I'm hearing the enormity. Fears around the enormity. But it's not as much change as you think. It's more maybe about a shift from this more grounded energy to this flow, moving into the flow of the Queen of Cups, moving into something that's more moving. allowing yourself to feel the feelings, to be moved, to connect with others. Queen of Pentacles, she's connecting to others in her, look, in her fixed, this fixed space. People come to her. Queen of Chalices, she is moving. She's flowing, she's floating. Water moves. So you might need to get moving a little bit out of a comfort zone. I'm just going to pull a clarifier. Please give me some more guidance about this Queen of Chalices as our future influence, maybe as a future guidance. How can we give some more information about this beautiful, flowing Queen? The Ace of Swords, to bring us closer to some understanding, some truth. That's the second ace. Something, some new energy is coming in, some new beginning, and a need to leave something else behind. Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles. Very strong, very strong. Leaving behind something else. So there's a something else back here in the past, and again I believe it's leaving behind a comfort zone, something that you felt very comfortable in, something you felt very comfortable with. Scorpio, what was that? You are being propelled forward by the Wheel of Fortune. Forces maybe greater than you. Maybe it's moving a little bit too fast for you, but what it's moving to you towards is this greater truth, something more than you imagine, something bigger than you. Could it be a family? Could it be a child? Could there be a pregnancy? Could there be a new partner? This is big, something that's bringing grounding and stability into your life, but it maybe scares the shit out of you. As much as it is exciting, and I hear again, turns you on, it might also be very frightening. I'm hearing go with the flow. I'm hearing go with the flow. Let yourself be pulled out of what previously was your comfort zone. Move forward, Scorpio. Move forward. It's time to move forward. It's time to move forward. So this is just a very simple message, really. Go with this. Now, the dangers of these readings is sometimes, I could be giving this message to someone and it's not meant for them. So for goodness sake, don't move forward in a situation if it's something that's painful. What I'm seeing here is something that is truly stable. So what we're looking at is a situation that feels that is positive, something that's going to hold your life, bringing your life together, something that's bringing you together with other similar souls, similar spirits. Here with the Four of Wands, something that's kind of blossoming and opening, something that's it could be a new home project, something that feels like it's opening you up, something that feels ultimately positive. I'm hearing go for it. Keep moving, Scorpio. Go with the flow. And notice your resistance. Notice any inner struggles that come up. Okay? But get in touch with your feelings around that. This is really the power that to conquer this inner struggle. Allow your feelings to flow. If you're feeling scared, cry. Let the feelings out. Maybe talk to someone. Go to a friend, a therapist, somebody who you feel safe to talk to about fears, and get in touch with those feelings, because we can only release feelings when we're in touch with them. So this mastery of your emotion, this getting in touch with your emotion, is really going to bring you clarity. To move from the Five of Swords to the Ace of Swords to one single sword, where there's no conflict, there's just clarity, there's just connection. The sword is planted in the ground, it's earthed, its energy is earthed, and it's also simultaneously connecting up with the stars, with cosmic understanding, with higher guidance. And from there, we can get clarity around which direction, look, these people are walking towards the sunset. Which direction to flow towards, to move towards. So, Scorpio, this is a really beautiful reading. I wish you luck. I wish you love, joy for this month, or any month that you happen to be reading this. All my love to you, Scorpio. If you like this reading, if it means something to you, if you want me to do more, please click like and subscribe. Goodbye.